Welcome into the Nickel City Crew. I am your host, Rob Griffin. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nickel City Crew. This episode, along with all of our episodes, are presented by Crippen Legacy Entertainment here on Spreaker. We're so glad that you're joining us for some of your Buffalo Bills and NFL content again today. And as always, these are my Bills thoughts said out loud. All right, let's get straight to it. Nickel City Crew in the building. Oh, man, I'm excited. What an exciting day for Buffalo Bills fans, for Bills Mafia, Nickel City Crew. The artist renderings are out on our new home. I like to call it the Ralph Part 2, but I mean, I'm sure that'll have some fancy corporate name by the time that the ribbons are cut. But for now, man, this is the Ralph 2.0, man. I mean, I can't wait to see that stadium as it starts to develop. And it's really been the talk of the town today, to be honest. It's actually got some of the NFL world buzzing as well. I know the Tennessee Titans came out with their renderings a few days prior, and then everybody, I was listening to GR and Jeremy White's wondering yesterday, like, where are the renderings? Where are our pictures? And then boom, voila. Today we get the pictures. I know there was a big meeting tonight in Orchard Park for the stadium, and I don't know if that's coincidence or not, but either way, this morning, right after the 9 o'clock hour, we were greeted to artist renderings of our new home. As always, my co-host joining me tonight, Adam Dump Truck Rupsick, DT in the building. Holla at the crew, DT. What's good, man? It's been a long week, man. We missed last night because we both were working and family and yada, yada, yada. We in the building still, man. We'll release on a Friday. We ain't stunting nothing, man. Holla at the crew, DT.
What's up? What's up, Nickel City Crew? We're back and on the bye week. Hope everyone, rested up, got ready to go for this spooky showdown on Sunday night as we get ready to roll. But yeah, it's a good week to get it rolling. As we talked, we're out here now. Only a few more days to the weekend, and what a time with the stadium renderings coming out. You got to think this is a start to, what we're going to start seeing over the next couple of years. And it's going to be funny, like going to these games and seeing this thing getting built
Right.
as we're coming in from the tailgate and seeing the cranes and stuff out there and knowing what it's going to turn out to be. So excited for that, excited for this Halloween weekend and to get back with Nickel City Crew, Rob. We're back.
Yeah, we're back in the building, man. Bye week is over. We are officially back at it, and I cannot wait to kind of get into the second half of this Buffalo Bills season. What a season it has been so far. Bills sitting at 6-1 and in a great position to kind of go ahead and take care of everything that they want to take care of. All of the goals that we had that we laid out before the season are still right in front of us, including that crucial win over the Kansas City Chiefs, and that could matter something when it comes down the stretch for the tiebreak. So we'll have some fun first before we get into the the Green Bay matchup and Sunday Night Football coming to town. Mike Tirico and the NBC gang will be in town. The Bills will be in prime time under the lights against those Packers. I want to talk about this stadium renderings because of the fact that we only got 2 pictures, but boy, did it create a buzz, DT, around the city. Twitter was on fire today about it, and for good reason. Just give me your initial thoughts, DT, because when you look at it, we did get 2 pictures of it, and we'll start with the outside. The outside is just crazy. It looks dope. I love the fact that I think Ron Acuña, who was on today on WGR, kind of speaking about some of the things that you can expect from the stadium, and we'll kind of get into some of the things that he said earlier today on his interview. But it was interesting. They're calling it like the family circle in that middle area that you see there on your rendering. And then you see those big ass buffaloes. Those look huge. And he said that they are going to be ginormous as well. He said they are to scale on that picture. So the people around that buffalo look like ants. And that's literally how we'll probably feel when we see those 3 buffaloes there when it comes time for it. Listen, talk to me about the outside, man. I have only known one way, walking up those grass lots, walking to the Ralph and partying with you guys and kind of getting ready to go into the game. We make that trek up that parking lot and the stadium looks great and it's lit up. This looks dope. This looks dope, DT. This is definitely a step up. This is definitely a new house for sure.
It's nice. It's modern. It's shiny. It's
Mhm.
new. I mean, Rob, we're driving the '94 Fiesta right now. You know, even if this is the base model 2020, as I think Jeremy was alluding to earlier on GR, and just it's going to be better. Just it's going to
Yes.
be look awesome to us just because it's new. And
Mhm.
I think it is legit. You know, it looks cool. It's kind of they're sticking to what they were saying in the off season about kind of copying some of these soccer stadiums over in Europe and you know basing after I think Tottenham was the one they based
Yes.
after. That's where the NFL has been playing. You know their previous games in London over the past couple of weeks and. Yeah, it looks cool. That stadium looks cool. I follow the English Premier League myself a little bit, so
Oh, okay,
that's one of
okay.
the better ones. One of the better ones out there for sure. Modern, new, shiny. I love the Buffaloes. I
Oh
hope they're
god,
that
yeah.
big. You know, you got to make a statement when with something like that. Like I want some monster, like 40, 50 footers up
Y
there, you know, just some
yeah.
mammoth buffaloes. But it looks like a nice wide open space out front, more of like a community feel to it.
Yes.
As like you
Mhm.
said, this stadium's more are the Ralph right now is Highmark is a little more business. You just walk in, go to the game, walk out. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing
bump
really
into
around it.
somebody on the way, yeah.
They bumped the team store up, so that kind of made that was like the congregating point or whatever. But
Mhm.
you know, this it looks like it's going to be a lot more open, a lot more, you know, spread
This
out around the
yeah.
stadium itself to get in, which hopefully, you know, obviously cuts down on line time getting in and everything like that. But
It looks
yeah,
like a spot
looks
that you can
good. I'm
hang,
about
like
it,
yeah, it
and
looks like a
I
spot that you
yeah
can hang, you know what I mean,
yeah
before
for
the
sure
game, it looks like you could
pictures
hang
and
out
you
out
know
there,
and
man.
yeah and everything like you know you look at like you know some stadiums I've been to and like just you hear about too like Tampa Bay has the you know the pirate ship in the stadium there kind of
Mhm,
off the
mhm.
side and when I was in Minnesota earlier in the year they got a big Viking ship out front
Right.
and that's
Mhm.
kind of like the feel you know it's kind of like the you know the vibe like to the trademark to the stadium and these
Yeah, it's the
Buffaloes do
meeting
that
point. Mhm.
definitely you think some pressure from this from the people behind these to Tennessee, we hear about they're getting a new stadium like a week ago, and they already get renderings out. And obviously, Nashville, Buffalo, two different you know lifestyles, two different
Mhm.
types of financial situations there. But as Bills fans, I was a little ticked. Like, come on, like, is this going to be one of these things we're not going to get done, and we're going
Right,
to drag our feet, and a
right.
couple years we're still waiting on agreements and all this BS. So I was excited to see them out today, and excited to kind of have them back up that this is what we're going to be looking at. You know, obviously there might be some minor differences here and there, but this is what they're going to be building. This is kind of what they're going after, and that's kind of cool too. That you're not just seeing a picture that's not going to be you know relevant in a couple of years when the
Oh,
stadium
yeah.
gets built. They're saying this is it. So
Yeah, Ron
I
Raccuia
like the
today
look.
said that
It's
that's
yeah,
it. He said that this is
it's
pretty much
new,
effectively
modern.
the stadium. Mhm.
For sure, it looks dope out there, Rob. I think they did a good job.
I really like how it's kind of spread out, and yes, as you were alluding to, Ron Raccuia today did say that this is it. Like you know, when you look at
Mhm.
these pictures, this obviously some things can change, but he said this is effectively the stadium. This is what you're looking at and what you can expect. So from the outside, I love those pillars, and I love how it it just kind of has that open feel where it looks like it could be domed and it's not domed. Obviously, we know that, but the canopy, the way it hangs over from the outside looking in, it kind of looks really sweet. And I love how there's just got that open air feel with those big columns that you see on the left hand side of your picture, Bills Mafia. Nickel City Crew, this looks
Do
dope.
you,
It
do you think it'll be like there'll be some sort of art on the actual stadium itself? Like it won't be just you
plain
know
pane glass, yeah.
glass or yeah, it'll be like they'll have buffaloes or I guess they do have them in the renderings. They
That's
got some
that's
buffaloes
interesting
up
because
there
I was thinking more along the lines I was in Indianapolis, as you
or
know, for
players.
yeah, for the home opener, and they had exactly they've got players kind of draped on the outside
Mhm.
of their of Lucas Oil, and I was kind of thinking like, yeah, do something like that with some of the old timers, and they've got enough panels where you could do old timers, and then obviously the current bills as well. So it'll be interesting
Yeah.
to see because they it looks massive. That's like a not like a regular window; those are huge panes of glass
Hmm.
that it looks like. So you probably can have multiple ideas and incorporate different things around the circumference of that stadium. So I love it. I love the outside feel. I like that it has this like little community feel where it comes all to the center there with the Buffaloes. And I can imagine, and I think Ron said today that there's going to be food out front. There's going to be different things that they're going to try to do to get people that don't have a ticket to actually get down there to the stadium. Now we know us as epic tailgaters that a lot of us will go, we'll tailgate, and then we'll head back to the house when we sober up a little bit if they don't have a ticket. This is a kind of a situation where I don't know how they'll have the TV situation and if they'll be broadcasting on the outside, but boy, this is kind of something you can maximize where, almost like Jerry World, he's got that standing room only, and he's inviting everyone to come. Just come. It doesn't matter if you're paying $40 or $20 to get in the building or get to the building, but just come, and then we'll show you a great time when you get here. And I think that the Bills can maybe piggyback off of some of that with an idea to maybe incorporate this little whole family circle, Bill circle thing where they can, invite people in, feed them, and then hopefully they stay regardless if they have a ticket or not, because there'll be some way to broadcast the game.
Yeah, and it's smart, because it's an event. We know this. Like we're obviously the season vets. We're out there mostly every week, and we got a routine. We got the OGs around us that we see every week and know the
Right.
people that have you can just tell by a person's setup. They've been there a
Yes.
while. This
Yeah,
ain't their
yeah.
first game, and then you get a lot of people that this like they pick a couple games a year and
Mhm.
they go for the event. They go for and
Entertainment.
not
Yeah.
even the game most of the time. Yeah, it's the tailgate in the recent years, and well, now we're getting a lot better, so that's changing a little bit. But Bills Mafia has always been Bills Mafia, and there's people that go just to be a part of it, and
Mhm.
they got right now is those two little dive bars at the corner of
Yeah.
Southwestern and Abbott, and I don't know if you've ever been in those.
Yes, I have been to O'Reilly's
I'm
or
not
whatever it's called.
disrespecting them. I've had some pretty good wings. I've
Yeah.
had some pretty good wings over there at O'Neill's, but
O'Neill's, yeah, O'Neill's. They've got good
it's
taco
not
wings.
it's not a five-star establishment by any means, and it's not that big either, So
No.
if you got one or two people in every group that doesn't have a ticket, that's thousands of people that are just slumped, sleeping in a
Yeah.
car or
Right.
jamming into this dive bar. So
Right.
to kind of open that up to for other people, I think it's a lot safer, and it's a cool concept to make these people that are already coming without a ticket make them feel a little more welcome, part of the mafia too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's so smart to do that, as you alluded to, because of the fact that, yeah, not everybody gets a ticket. I mean, I know that we are the ride or dies, we're the diehards, but not everybody gets a ticket. And you're absolutely right, because I know plenty of people that specifically go just to tailgate, and then they'll have it, whatever they have set up back at their house, and they'll go back to the crib. Obviously when the parking lots are all dead, and they'll just go back and catch it right before kickoff. So there's definitely different ways to consume a game. I like the fact that it seems like it's very inviting on the outside, and it'll kind of be a place where people can hang out, opposite of just your traditional tailgates. Now, I'm sure that there will be some tailgating. Don't worry, tailgaters like ourselves, Bills Mafia, Nickel City Crew, we will still find places to tailgate. So please don't worry about it. They'll set up some parking lots, and if we have to walk all the way from our current parking lots to the grass lots, we will, because it's not that far. You don't have to worry about the tailgating portion. It's part of the reason why they kept it here. Now, I was
Yeah,
personally for putting it downtown. I understand it's not my money, so it's easy for me to count it. I wanted a dome. Even if it wasn't a dome and it was this exact same stadium, I still wanted it on the water. The reason that I wanted it on the water downtown was for the community, for the entire Buffalo community. So that's just a personal thing for me. And I know some of my friends share that same sentiment, where we wanted another community to get an opportunity to get to cash in on the Bills, to be honest. Orchard
yeah,
Park is on the outskirts. It's not in anywhere near downtown, and it's kind of a trek in that respect. And then it's also isolating that community where only Orchard Park dollars are getting that money. You know what I mean? And only Orchard Park people and the land property owners out there are getting that money. So I would have liked to see, some of the people downtown get an opportunity to reap the benefits of being, having the Bills down there. But this is what it is. We are in the big boy league, and we had to build the stadium, and this is where they decided to build it. I know that we're going to have to come up with some of the money as New York taxpayers, but this is the league that we're in. So we've already talked about that in season one. We've already come to terms with it. I'm so happy that the Bills are not going anywhere. I'm so happy that they're going to get a chance to get their new home. Now, speaking of that new home, if you click over to another picture, DT, let's step inside the building, because that is really where my juices start to get flowing. This
yeah,
this place looks really, really, really nice, and I love how they made it seem like it was a winter game and turned on those heated seats, the ceiling seats, excuse me, where they got those heaters, man, so you can see the red. That it looks
yeah.
really nice, DT. I mean, it looks really nice. They say the canopy covers 65% of the seats.
Mhm.
I know that that's really hard to tell in the pictures with the way it is with
Yeah,
the
it doesn't look
diagram.
like it, but
It
yeah,
doesn't look like it, but Ron said today 65% of the seats will be covered from the elements. That's a really good thing for us during those rainy games, or those sleet games for sure. Talk to me, DT. When I look at this picture, man, I get excited. I am really excited, because I'm instantly trying to figure out where my seats are right now in
yeah,
the Ralph, and try to relate it to the Ralph 2.0. This looks really sweet, man. It looks really
yeah.
nice in
Well,
there.
Well, going off that, Rob, these kind of look like where your seats are, right? Right in that end zone corner. If this was,
Yeah,
if the tunnel was in the opposite end, I mean, looks
yeah.
a little higher than your seats probably, but in that kind of that
Looks like
this
I'm right
view,
next to
right?
that club. Yeah, man. Whatever that little
Yeah,
club
yeah.
they called it, the Legends Club, and if you see it, it's right behind the goalpost, and I'm right
Uh-huh.
to the right of that as you're looking at the picture, and I'm in section 104, and there's another deck, so I could either be on the bottom
Mhm.
or I could be in that little second deck where that club
Yeah,
is. This thing
yeah.
looks sweet, DT.
This kind of like put it into perspective. Like if I'm ever looking in another stadium for tickets, right?
Mhm.
And you look in the cheap seats are 500 level or 600 level. You're like, oh
Right.
man, those got to be way up there. But that's really our 300 level
300s.
at
Mhm.
at
At the
Highmark now
Ralph.
because there's only three levels, right?
Right.
So that makes logical sense. Like it's leveled up by the by the actual levels
Numbers
themselves,
of
and it looks a
balconies.
little
Mhm.
smaller each. A
Yeah.
little smaller each, a lot of tunnel access in there, which I like. I always hated the one tunnel.
Yeah.
It's so old school, old, so like, yeah. So all the different tunnels you can have, setups for, camera crews kind of everywhere.
Mhm.
They're saying that this is going to be steeper. It's going to be a steeper stadium. So that probably explains the, why the
Mo
canopy doesn't look like it's covering out as much because the seats are probably steeper than they look in this picture.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah, I mean, this is, they so that even if you're up in the top section, the top levels, you're still trying to over the field instead of out
Yeah.
of it. I think
Yep.
is what they're going for, when it comes to that. So, yeah, a lot of cool spots. This I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm
I know,
kind of
it's so
thinking
hard, but
in a corner, maybe second level corner
Mhm.
might be a
Yeah.
nice spot to
Yeah.
that isn't going to make you get into your retirement, but still, you still got a good seat in the house. It's looking. What's you got the picture up right here, Rob?
I sure
On the
do.
other side of across the field,
Mhm.
on the opposite end zone, there is that like a big tunnel? Like, what's that opening over
I
there?
think
Like,
that to the right where you see that blue charging buffalo, I think that was where the main tunnel will be. Now, I don't know if it'll
okay.
be a double tunnel or
And
not,
it
or
looks like, yeah, it looks like there's like a little pool of seats under it, that, those might be some crazy seats there.
yeah.
Right down, like you're basically on the field almost, right
Yes,
there. So
yes, yes, yes. Oh,
those are
okay,
a little
now I know. You're
different.
talking about far corner. Yes, okay, yes.
Far
Now
right corner. Yep.
far right corner, there do look like there's pockets of seats right there to the right. Yes, on the visitor sideline.
Yeah.
That looks
Yep.
very interesting. Now, I'm interested in like I said, like you just said, the steepness of it. I would love to see is how high can I go and I still feel like I'm a part of the action. Like how high can I
Sure.
go where I'm not on crowded on everybody, but I've got a little bit of space, and maybe I'm in that 200 level, or whatever they call it. Maybe it'd be the 300 level on that second deck where you can kind of still be a part of that action because it seems like on each side there's like one, two, three levels on each of
Yep.
the sidelines. So
On the come
that
up. Yeah,
maximizes
it looks like
seating.
a little less suites and stuff like that. It doesn't look
Yes,
like a ton of suites, which, I mean, I don't know.
that's
I've
good.
never been in the suite in the Highmark and don't
Yeah.
really plan to,
Yeah, I've
So,
been in a couple every now and
but
then
yeah,
with the folks, but yeah, it's a totally different sterile atmosphere listening to it on the radio as opposed to having that window open and then you are out there
yeah.
in the stadium. So it looks
But
great.
yeah,
I'm sure they will still
it
have
looks good.
suites. Yeah, it looks
I
awesome. It
I
look
keep taking it back to when I went to Minnesota earlier in the year,
okay.
that new US Bank Stadium and kind of how these seats are set up. And, I a very different stadium, obviously, overall, but the way the sections and the seating, it just seemed a little more spaced out, a little more easy to maneuver as right now at Highmark and the Ralph. It's just so kind of jammed in,
It's so
you get
cramped.
there and the seats are cramped in and the sections are right bang, bang, bang. So this looks a little more spread out. The concourse would be a little bigger and
Yeah.
in those seatings instead of 30 and they're taking seats out, right? It's going to be less attendance overall,
Hmm.
to the stadium. So if you're looking a bunch of less seating, you can open some rows. There's not 30 in a row. There's only 20, or whatever. So you can get those seats a little farther apart. DT's big boy over here. I don't like being cramped in there too much. So
Yeah,
looking
they
forward to
they
a little more
a little
space.
elbow room. Yeah, they say that
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
concourses are going to be exactly that. DT. They say that they're going to have more space, more move around. capacity for everyone. And then there are going to be more meeting points inside the stadium. So kind of gatherings where people can come, they're going to grab a beer, they might grab some food, and then they'll still be able to see the action from the concourse or
Yeah.
however they've got it set up. The Sabres kind of have something like that in their stadium, in their arena, where they've kind of got meeting places where you can grab a beer and literally still see the ice. So if they've got some stuff like that, they definitely should take pages out of Jerry's World. They definitely should take pages out of, any of those newer stadiums, because they really are all state of the art and they're all beautiful. And this one, you just rip up pages, you listen to your fans. They sent out, thousands and thousands of surveys. I remember filling out one as a season ticket holder years ago about what I wanted and what was important to me as a fan and that kind of thing, and price points and yada, yada, yada. So I think that they've done a good job of trying to extrapolate from us what we wanted, and then they're trying to put it into the stadium. So I know one of the things that caught my ear today was, Ron had made a statement about, how he had said that, he wants it to be a stadium where they say, wow, they literally thought of everything. And like, that's a cool statement. Like, to say that about your
That
stadium
is cool.
and to have
Yeah.
that to be about, my home field, like, that's really cool. Like, obviously the Wi-Fi will probably be top notch, and all, and probably in-game betting. And, now that New York's got it legal and all this type of stuff, kiosks, I'm sure, all that kind of thing is going to be a part of it. And the food, and we're talking about the amenities. There are going to be a lot more amenities to get you off the couch, get you to the Ralph,
Yeah.
2.0, and come into the stadium, spend your money and come on here and watch it here, because the product you can't beat when you're actually live. And that's what they're going to be trying to compete with. The TV has the best product. We all know that. You're in the comfort, the confines of your home, you're comfy. They've got replay, 1,000 different camera angles. You can see every blade of grass on your big 70-inch TV HD. So they want to find reasons to get you out of your house, come to the stadium, spend some money, and enjoy the game live and in person. And if there's a way for them to kind of, increase those amenities, they're going to do it. And I love the fact when I heard, like, wow, they literally thought of everything. The fact that they think that people are going to say that about the stadium is a really good sign about what you're in store for if you decide to come to the stadium. So we won't get into PSLs tonight or anything like that and dampen anybody's spirit or anything like that. We'll just kind of enjoy this. 2026, the start of the 2026 season. In 4 years is when they anticipate the stadium will be ready. As DT said earlier, it is going to be very interesting next season to be tailgating, throwing the football around. That you can see, the cranes and stuff like that there at ECC. Again, if you don't know where it's going to be, the new stadium will be right across the street, or kind of where that ECC parking lot and the camper lots are now. So yes, we'll have to come up with new camper lots and come up with new tailgate lots and different things like that, but they'll figure that all out. The fact that this is our home, the Bills are not going anywhere, as we already spoke about, is a good thing. It should make you breathe a sigh of relief as a Bills fans to know that, what Ralph Wilson's plan came to fruition. He told that he didn't want anybody to be able to sell the team, told his wife the same thing, put it in his will, found an owner that wasn't going to move the team. And boy, are we happy that the Pagula stepped up, because look at what they have planned for us. I know we got to pay some of it, but look what we got planned. It really looks sweet, man. It looks like a really nice stadium, and I can't wait. They're talking about the fact that they want the loudness of the decibels, to kind of the way that the stadium is actually literally constructed to keep all of the sound in. They talked about how the canopy is going to help with that. And I heard something about wind confusion today and not letting the wind hit the side of the building and then actually come on the field too much. So they're trying to think of everything to have the actual game day experience good for us, and then obviously as optimal as it can be for Josh Allen and the boys and the crew, because we want them to play high octane offense, don't we?
100%. And it's almost surprising to me at this point of how powerful the NFL is, and what the cash cow, this organization and the NFL brings, is that they wouldn't mandate any new stadium be a dome. Why take the chance to, to not be able to play a game and make money? So that was like kind of a point I was thinking about today, like dome or not, whatever. I'm happy with what we got right now with what they're showing us. Like, I'm happy with it. Of course, would I pick a dome? Probably, but it's funny.
Something about it that still
NFL
speaks Buffalo, though, right? Like, there's something about with that open air that still makes you feel like, but like that is Buffalo.
And I'm all about that. I'm all about that. Let's go with that. But the last point on there I want to make on the stadium is what Ron was saying earlier, was the number one goal. Obviously, there was a ton of goals, but the number one goal was to make this the biggest home field advantage in the NFL. And that got me pumped up. Like,
yes,
it's already crazy loud in there, Rob, and
yes,
banging on the bleacher seats, and
yes,
doing the back of the seats, and
yes,
it's crazy in there. And so if your number one goal on the next stadium is to make it even louder and crazier, like, I can't
Yeah.
wait for that first roar, that
Oh,
that
yeah.
first time we're in that stadium together,
Yes.
Robin. It's gonna be dope, man. It's gonna
It
be
is
dope.
definitely gonna be dope, and some people on Twitter were joking and saying, how many banners will we have by then, and will the Josh Allen or the Sean McDermott or the Brandon Beane statue be up by then? And
Yeah.
I got a kick out of that on Twitter today. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
like
go.
you guys all know me. I'm trying to stay in the moment, but boy, this will be really fun, and it'll be great if we had a parade before we even christen this new crib, because that'll be well deserving for the Buffalo Bills fans, Bills Mafia, Nickel City Crew, if we can have a parade before that. So, speaking of trying to get that parade back to the 2022 season as we transition. I mean, what a big matchup. This is some people had said, I heard somebody on GR saying, maybe some of the luster is taken off this game. I'm just as amped up for this game as I was, before. And I actually kind of like the fact that, the Packers are kind of going through a crisis right now, DT. Like that, I'm not scared of this game. I'm excited for it, and I'm not less excited of it because of the fact that they're crappy right now. I'm still amped. Like I'm still ready to go get this thing. Like this is another event. Like you always say, like this is another event on the calendar, another event out of those 17 events. And I'm amped, man. Sunday night football under the lights. Like I remember the last time I was there, you know what I mean? Like 8 years ago with Bakari Rambo night. Like that was, I think it was a Monday night football game, or it might have been a Sunday night, but boy, like that was a fun night. I'm ready to see Rodgers again. It looks like at the tail end of his career, he's blaming everybody in Green Bay but himself. That's horrible when a quarterback is not taking accountability. I welcome this. He said that this might be the best thing for his team. Well, bring y'all asses, come on down. Like I can't wait. Like I cannot wait for
Yeah.
Sunday night. I can't wait.
Three pillars. Three pillars I've kind of been leaning on this week is the history, built not the between the teams, but the Packers being a more historic franchise, Aaron Rodgers being one of the best ever, coming
Mhm.
into our house. Like you got to get amped up for that. Two, under the lights, prime time, Sunday night football. Let's go.
Oh
We're on.
gosh.
We're on it. The whole world's watching. And three, I say it all the time. 17's addicting. This team's addicting. We haven't had our fix. We haven't had our fix, Robin, and I feel it. I need that juice. I need
Yeah.
to watch that squad get out there and carve up. So those are my kind of three pillars I'm going in to get pumped up on this week of significant, nice matchup with
Mhm.
a historic team. We're under the lights and
Sunday
and
night
then and
football.
then we can be a little selfish and say, yeah, let's go. Now our squad's back on the field. The squad we love to watch every week and carve
Yeah.
people up. So I'm
Yeah,
pumped.
I'm down with it, man. I'm down with it because I did miss them last week, and the bye week was cool and got some stuff done. And it was my son's birthday, and he had his little party and stuff like that. So it was jam packed. We had plenty of stuff to do last weekend, but I missed my Bills, and I'm ready. Like I don't care. There's nothing that's been taking off of this matchup for me because of the way that the Packers have been struggling. It's been fun to see and interesting to watch. Kind of them imploding down there and playing such bad football with these 3 straight losses. But I'm not worried about it. I'm not feeling sorry for them, and I'm ready to go after it and get another win because we desperately need all the wins that we can get and stack them up. I mean, I would love to stack up another win against an NFC opponent. And find a way to just go put another one in the win column. Like, you know what I mean? You never know how the year's gonna turn out. And I don't want one of those dumbass games where there's a team that we're supposed to beat them, and it's a Jacksonville, it's an Indy, and I don't want any letdowns. I know that we're not going 15-1 most likely, but 16-1. But I mean, this is a game that we should win. This team is in shambles right now. Their wide receiver core is not playing well. Sammy Watkins makes his return. I used to love Sammy Watkins when he was here, and it wasn't his fault.
We're not worried. So we're not worried about a revenge game
No,
from
I'm
old
not really.
Sammy, huh?
No, I'm not really worried about a revenge game. No,
Yeah.
I think that we're facing the Packers at the perfect time right now because of the fact that they've had some adversity. We don't know everything that we need to know about Matt LaFleur. We'll see what he's made of as a coach because of the fact that it's real easy to be a front runner and the coach Aaron Rodgers and yada 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 and everything is peachy. But when shit is hitting the fan, can you control the locker room? Can you control your team? Get your message out and if it's any indication, these last couple of weeks, Aaron Rodgers is not. He does whatever the fuck he wants to do, and like that is really
Yeah.
alarming when it's coming from the quarterback position. Just to hear how much he says they and maybe these guys are not doing, and I'm just like, man, if I'm a player in that locker room, I don't want to hear that shit. Like I'm like, wow. What about you, dog? Like, is every pass you make perfect? Is every read perfect? Is everything that you're doing perfect? Because if not, I would like for you to shut your mouth because you keep. Now, I know he didn't call anybody out by name, but that's not good leadership, man. In my opinion, the quarterback is supposed to be talking about solutions and results and finding a way to get to the proper results and solutions and finding a way to get there. I mean, he blaming people is not what a quarterback's supposed to be doing. That's some diva shit that wide receivers or a cornerback might do. I'm doing my job. Well, they need to do their job. Like, I mean, I don't know. Quarterback, it just sounds a little cheesy coming out of that.
100%. But in that regard, the one thing that makes it a little concerning to me is, about this game coming up is the NFC is trash, Rob. I mean, the watching, especially on the bye week, seeing through this NFC, like there's not a lot of contenders over there. So in a way, I feel Aaron Rodgers has been around the league long enough where yeah, he's always been like this. This isn't something new for him. They've just always been good, so it hasn't been as prevalent. You know what I mean? So we pop off and he comes in and sees, yeah, we stink and my team around me
Mhm.
stinks, but the NFC is still doable. We can still make a run here in the NFC. And what a better way to get rolling again than go on the road, beat the number one team in the league in pretty much everyone's eyes on the road, beat them. Hey, we're back. We're still the Packers. I'm still Aaron Rodgers. Let's go. So I feel
Right.
like that's kind of their mentality going into this week of, yeah, it's in shambles, it's dropping, but they're still in it in the NFC, and kind of using this as a catapult to move forward into their season and make a run deep into the playoffs. And I don't want to be the end of that, and I don't think we will be by any means. As I talk of the Bills fandom transition, as we were scarred, and even the loss after the Dolphins game, I'm a little scared going into Baltimore, and
Right.
and then after
I
those two
was.
big
I
wins,
mean, I was. I
yeah,
said I
of
was.
course,
I
right,
admitted it. I admitted
of
it.
course. So after those two wins, though, you go back and you're like, all right, like 10-point favorite at home, biggest underdog Aaron Rodgers has ever been. I don't think some rah-rah, we can still get the NFC speech is going to
Mhm.
be enough to take down the Bills Sunday. So that would be my only concerning topic to, Aaron Rodgers kind of looking like they're in shambles, but it might be, a little, what we
The
talked
get
about
back
Tom
game.
Brady
Yeah.
earlier in the year,
We're the wrong opponent
little,
for a get back game.
watch my right hand, as I'm taking the Rolex with the left, So it's I'm not thinking it's that extreme, but you got to think that's what the Packers are feeling like and coming like on Sunday night.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I'm absolutely sure that they're not going to roll over, and definitely not Rogers roll over, and I don't expect anything like that from them. But yeah, I think that it's important to understand that the Bills are a different like this is a bad matchup, like for any team. So if you're trying to get right and get back on track against the Bills and this defense from Leslie Frazier, like this is like we're the wrong people to play for that because the defense is literally firing on all cylinders. One of the things that I talked about at nauseum, it felt like during the offseason was how Von Miller was going to pay dividends way beyond the field in respects to just his play, his mentorship, the whole pass rush university. He brings all the guys out there. I told you that was going to be important. I said it back then when we signed him, and literally, Greg Rousseau just had an interview with Trey Wingo the other day, and like it came out today, and I saw it on Buffalo Rumblings, and he was just talking like how much Von has meant to him in respects to on the field, not about X's and O's, but how to play the game, how to approach the game, his view of the game, his tenacity, the way that he goes about his craft, the ways he goes about his job. He's paying dividends and he's rubbing off on the rest of this defense. This is the wrong opponent, man. If you're trying to get back, if you don't have your shit together and you come to play Buffalo, especially on the road, you might be in for a long day. I promise you. And we haven't even played that many home games, so I know that the fans are going to be chomping at the bit to get out here to the stadium. I know I can't wait to get out to the stadium. So I mean, it'll be an interesting matchup for sure. I don't put anything past them. Obviously, the Bills can lose any game the same way we can beat any team. So I'm really, really confident about this game. Totally have a different feeling after the Kansas City game. I think like we are world beaters. I think that they've now proven it to me that, that's what I needed to see. I needed the boogeyman and somebody to turn on the lights and show me that he wasn't real. He's not real. I believe that now. And I'm so focused on the rest of the season. I'm so focused on making sure that we just stack wins on top of wins and take care of our business. This is not the week that I anticipate to slip up. There's some other games on the calendar that I could show you where I'd say, be careful Thanksgiving, be careful. You know what I mean? Your head could be 5,000 other places and you're not really focused. This game, Sunday night, like everybody's got our attention for sure. I know that the Bills are ready for this one.
The way this team has been focused all year has, it's just the next game. It's just the next game. We didn't even know we were playing Kansas City, they were saying, and it's just the next game. And so this is, all that build up, all that, back, it's the Packers, it's Aaron Rodgers. It's just the next team. And this team, the Bills are just getting more confident week in and week out too. dominate, and that's what they want to do. Steph Diggs said it early, this summer. They want to dominate, and they want to put the league on blast, stack these wins because it is the NFL. You're going to have those slip ups, Rob. We know it, and
Yeah.
they might not have that Jaguars game this year. I hope they don't.
No,
But
I don't want to see that. But yeah.
this isn't the time to do that. This is the time to, in front of your home fans on primetime TV. I think this is a huge passing of the torch night, Rob. Like it's there, Look I'm watching the first few drives of this Thursday night game right now, and Tom Brady looks horrible again. And Aaron Rodgers it's kind of like, all right, the stick's up, man. You're an asshole. Like, it's time to get the Packers stink. Like, it's over. And I think this is a passing of the torch night. Josh Allen on prime time goes out, takes down the Packers, the struggling Packers, and cements the Bills as already the number one team in the league, but even higher up. And I think it's a little more, on the grand scheme of things, like the dream team and the say Magic Johnson in that practice passed that torch to Michael Jordan in that practice, and that was the changing in the NBA. Like, maybe this is the changing in the NFL. This game in particular might not mean a lot at the end of the year for standings or anything like that, but the fact of it's all kind of crumbling down for these older guys, and what a better time to pass the torch to 17 and the boys on Sunday. That's how I'm kind of looking.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely am with you with the passing of the torch in respects to the fact that Rodgers and Brady have not looked good for separate reasons, and it has been interesting to watch because all good things come to an end, and Father Time is undefeated, and I know that it's hard to believe that with how Brady has gone on for so long, and we've got LeBron in the NBA 20th season, still crushing them and still doing his thing, but Father Time is undefeated. It catches up with all of us, and I don't know. I don't know if it's Father Time with Aaron Rodgers or he just, he's just got his head in so many other places where he's just, like you said, he seems like a downright prick, to be honest. Like, I mean, he doesn't talk to his family. He doesn't talk to, his brothers, his parents, his grandparents. I mean, anybody that doesn't talk to his, I mean, there's got to be some serious shit going on. You know what I mean? Because like,
doesn't defend himself of being a prick. Like, I'm an asshole.
Yeah. At least you could try to fake it from some people or defend yourself. Absolutely. Is a nice guy. So listen, there's a passing of the torch for sure. The league is it's changing. The Mahomeses, the Lamar Jacksons, and even if you want Herbert in there, and all these young guys, Murray, the league is changing in respects to the quarterback position and what we're looking for out of it. So I really think that it's interesting to see. Josh Allen is literally, I've been hearing so much this week, and everybody's finally come around and they're like, wow, he's the best quarterback in the league. And wow, and I'm like, yeah, no shit. Like, like we've been saying it for about 2 years now. Like, and I understand that he doesn't have the MVPs and he doesn't have the Super Bowl, but I'm talking about when you watch the game of football and you watch this guy play, how could you not think that he is either, right at the top? Like, there's not many. It's him and Mahomes to me at the top of the league. So I'm interested to see how he carries that pressure, that added weight of being that number one team and being that hunted, so to speak. And he's so far, he's been handling it so well because he is really focused on his task. And his task is to try to win games for the Buffalo Bills. And he seems so laser focused every single week. And I really do love watching him play. I love it. You're right. He's addicted.
A big one, yeah, and we're coming into, a crucial point in the year of stacking those wins. I should have looked up this stat before the show, but Sean McDermott after the bye, I think, is pretty darn good. I mean, probably most people are. Right? Oh, he hasn't lost.
5-0, perfect. Yeah, perfect after the bye. Sean McDermott tease perfect after the bye.
Let's go. I mean, let's go, Rob. It ain't no thing. We're gonna be out there. We're gonna be enjoying ourselves. Halloween, it's gonna be a little spooky, but not spooky for the Bills. Spooky for the Packers.
Spooky for the Packers. Yes, it's Beggars Night in Western New York, and we will definitely be out there for sure. The tailgates, can't wait to see you out there. I drive up on Saturday. DT's throwing a Halloween party. We got to try to come through there, and maybe, I got to figure out a costume or something like that. I don't know. I might just wear my Nickel City Crew shirt and come through and promote the podcast. And listen, man, I'm excited about this weekend. I'm very excited about the game. The artist renderings definitely gave me a little bit of juice today for sure, because I was a little bit pissed off that Tennessee had gotten theirs and we hadn't even seen ours.
I was pissed.
You know what I mean? I was like, man, we have been talking about a new stadium. Tennessee just up and popped up and said they're getting a new stadium, getting funded, and then all of a sudden they have renderings. I'm like, what the hell? And they get a dome. I'm like, where are our pictures at? So I was kind of feeling Jeremy White on that sentiment.
People were tweeting at Mark polling carts, I think. I know some friends that fired off some what's going on.
Yeah, man. What's up? So hopefully we'll hear some positive news in the future about an actual deal being signed. But again, today was a good sign in the positive direction of showing that the Bills are not going anywhere. We don't have to worry about that that shit anymore. They're going to be a part of this community. The Pagulas have committed to that with them and the Sabres. It's evident with some of the reconstruction that they've done downtown. So they're here. We're here. And we can't wait to grow together as a community. I understand that, we want the billionaires to pay for the old stadium. But again, we've already talked about that and went over that. This is the price of admission. This is what you got to do if you want to play in the big boy league. We want to be in it. We all love the Bills. So I'm so happy that we're here. We've got a little renderings of what our new crib will look like. And I can't wait to celebrate these next 4 years before we open it up. So I won't jump ahead. I'm very, very, very excited for this weekend. I know you guys are as well. Nickel City Crew, Bills Mafia. So what is the plan for the weekend, DT? We've got the party, Halloween party, then the tailgate. How early can we get out there? You have to work. Everybody should be off on Sunday, man. What's the deal, man?
Yeah,
How early can we show up, man? How early can we show up?
Well, we got the advantage, going
The grass
private
lots.
lot at the grass lot.
Yeah.
They take the real OGs. I mean, there's people there at dark on 1 o'clock games. It's still dark out and people are out there. So we can get in definitely early. I'm not sure when the main stadium lots are opening.
Usually
It's
about 4 hours before.
it's
Yeah,
9,
4 or
so
5.
it's 4. So you're looking at probably 2:30. Stadium lots are opening. So for us, I think we're going to be down there a little earlier. One, for you don't want to go through that traffic debacle you went through in Pittsburgh. So I know you're going to be there nice and early, and it's just nice. It'll be a nice day. I think weather's looking good.
Should be in the
It's gonna
60s
be a nice,
until
nice
nighttime.
fall day and enjoy. And I don't think maybe a little rain late, but we'll be good. Ain't no thing we can't handle. And looking forward to that nice Sunday. And get out of work Friday, Rob, and safe travels up here. And it's gonna be a good party. It's gonna be a good party on Halloween.
I'm gonna check you out. I'm gonna check you out Saturday.
Spooktacular. I have it every year at the crib, and every year I lived in Buffalo, and people talk about it. People look forward to it, and
That's what's up.
I'm looking forward to it again this year. It's going to be a good time. So
I'm definitely stopping through, man.
You can join us and hang out for a while, and it's nice. We don't have to wake up mad early.
That's
get
exactly
to the
what I was
tailgate,
thinking.
kind of put back to back, wake up, sleep in a little, get yourself right, get some water. Broncos early game, watch a little early ball
across the pond.
Get your stuff together and get down there. So probably, I'd say before 2 for me, for sure.
Yeah, I'm down with it. I think that you're right. I think the stadium lots don't even open for about 4 hours before. So you could be looking at 3:30, 4:30 if you want to be on those pavement lots. Come to the grass lots, holler at us, California and Southwestern. Again, we had a ball the last tailgate. I'm going to be posting again on Instagram and letting people kind of join in on the action. This is your open invitation, Nickel City Crew, Bills Mafia. Anybody want to come down? We are on the corner of California Southwestern. Again, not the actual physical corner, but the corner there at the grass lots. Well, those grass lots start right in front of the stadium, left-hand side, man, as you're coming down Southwestern. I mean, we're there every. I've been in the same spot since 2009, man. I have not moved. I am right there. These are my peoples. This is my crew, man. This is the crew.
It's gonna be about the same walk for us too. It seems like, to the new stadium. We just got to cross the street, but it'll be a little farther. But
I'm not. I mean, hey, I'm gonna try to be there, man. Unless they pave it over or something like that, then I would love to carry over some of those traditions with the tailgate, because I know how important that is to Bills Mafia, and we all understand that. When the team was shitty during the drought, that's literally all we had. And I remember so many seasons driving up to the stadium having no real hope that we were going to win the game, especially the Patriots game. You get so amped up for them, you just want to beat Brady, and you just want to do it that one time, and then they stomp you 35 to something, and it's just like, golly. And we spent all day. And listen, the Bills Mafia, we are the most loyal fans. We have always been a part of the action. We will always support our team. Now that the team is good, it's just, I don't know. It just feels like I'm being paid back on all of my investment all at once. It's like a stock, and I'm literally just shooting up, and up. And that's literally what Josh Allen has done to this team. McDermott, Bean, they've kind of just improved the stock of the Bills. And now all of a sudden we're not worried about just the tailgates. It's literally about, the game, and it's about the team and the matchup and being focused on that and having so much fun with that and dissecting it. That's what I'm so happy for us as fans is that we don't have to talk about a drought anymore. Our team is good, and now we can actually enjoy in the tailgate and stuff like that, and not worry about the fact that this is the highlight of the fucking day. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be the best thing about today is the tailgate. That's not how it should be when your team is out there on the field and getting ready to play. You should be most amped up about what's going to happen inside that stadium. I'm so happy that I'm finally at that place where I can't wait to get in there, man. I can't wait.
We're going on a 9-month party here, in that stadium from
Yes.
from the New England
it's like a
playoff
rave.
game to the opener against the Titans to the blowout in the Pittsburgh game.
Yeah, it's like a rave.
Let's just keep it rolling. Let's keep stacking this party. Like, it hasn't stopped. It won't stop all year. Let's go.
Let's go, man. Well, as always, man, please spread love, not hate. These were my Bills thoughts said out loud, as always, man. Hit them with the Go Bills DT. Holla at us, man. Holla at us Sunday. Holla at us
Bills.
Sunday.
Go Bills. Happy Halloween.
Go
Spooky
Bills.
for the Packers. Go Bills.
It's time to get spooky, baby.